10 teams, 20 drivers, 24 Grand Prix, 20,000 horsepower. But only one goal: to win.
Formula One is go!
This is the 2024 Formula One season. The best drivers in the fastest cars are poised and ready to go racing. Formula One truly is a world championship, a global spectacle spanning 20 countries and 5 continents, and this season boasts a record-breaking 24-race calendar. This year sees 3 Saturday races, starting with the season opener in Bahrain, along with Saudi Arabia and Las Vegas. Alongside classic tracks and daring street circuits, there's also a return to Shanghai, with the Chinese Grand Prix back on the calendar. And this season, Shanghai will host one of 6 sprint events, along with Miami, Austria, Austin, Sao Paulo and Qatar, when the drivers will compete for victory in a 100-kilometer dash, as well as the main Grand Prix. And at 7 events, fans will be treated to more track action, with the F1 Academy season running from Saudi Arabia to Abu Dhabi. From the 15 entrants this season, 10 will be supported by Formula One teams and run their liveries. When the lights go out in Bahrain, Red Bull and Max Verstappen will be aiming to pick up where they left off last year after a simply lovely, not to mention record-breaking 2023, when they dominated on a scale never seen before in the sport. Red Bull won all but 1 Grand Prix last season, with Verstappen taking a record 19 victories on his way to the driver's title. Such dominance won't be easy to repeat, but team and driver will be giving it their all to stay on the top step. For the first time in F1 history, every single team has stuck with the same driver lineup from last year. That means last season's rookies, Logan Sargent and Oscar Piastri, will get another opportunity to impress. And Zhou Guanyu will finally get the chance to become the first Chinese driver to race in his home Grand Prix. While there were no changes in the driver market heading into 2024, there have already been some sensational moves for next year, including Ferrari's stunning swoop for Lewis Hamilton. In a shock move, the 7-time world champ will call time on his Mercedes family at the end of this season to join Charles Leclerc in red, leaving Carlos Sainz on the hunt for a new team. Elsewhere, Max Verstappen is signed up with Red Bull until 2028, but the pressure is on for teammate Sergio Perez, whose deal is due to expire at the end of 2024. He needs to prove he's got what it takes to keep hold of one of the most coveted seats in the sport. But with Sainz, Alex Albon, Fernando Alonso and the pairings at Haas, RB, Alpine and Kick Sauber all currently out of contract at the end of the year, and Hamilton's Mercedes seat now up for grabs, expect plenty more moves in the F1 game of musical chairs as the drivers jostle for the best seats on the grid. It might be a case of new year, same drivers, but there are still some big changes in the paddock. 2 teams have a brand new identity, and 2 have new bosses running things from the pit wall. Alfa Romeo have transformed into Kick Sauber, while Alpha Tauri will be known as RB, and have a new face at the helm, with former Ferrari man Laurent Mekies replacing retired Franz Tost. Haas also have a new boss, with Netflix fan favourite Gunther Steiner having left the American outfit over the winter to be replaced by the team's former engineering director, Ao Komatsu. Those 3 teams finished bottom of the pile last year, so plenty of work to do for the new team chiefs. With a major regulations reset coming in 2026, things are relatively stable this year, but there are some rule tweaks being brought in. Sprint qualifying moves from Saturday to Friday, following an initial free practice session for track acclimatization and setup work. The 100-kilometer sprint will then take place on Saturday, ahead of qualifying for the Grand Prix later that day. And look out also for new driver cooling scoops, which will be bigger and more effective this season to combat drivers overheating at some of the hotter races on the calendar. So, Red Bull go into the new season as the team to beat, but with every other F1 team working round the clock to try and knock them off their championship perch, who's best placed to topple the mighty Bulls? This time last year, McLaren were in trouble. They got their car wrong and admitted they'd missed their targets in testing. But a mid-season upgrade catapulted them up the order, and in the second half of the year, Norris and Piastri were often Red Bull's closest challengers. Time will tell if they turn that promise into race-winning reality. And what of Ferrari? It remains to be seen if their 2024 car concept will deliver the pace needed to break their long championship drought. And with boss Fred Vasseur now a year into the job, the Tifosi will start to get impatient if real progress isn't evident from the Scarlet cars this year, with Carlos Sainz being their only winner of last season. Mercedes won 8 constructors' titles, but they dropped the ball with their last 2 challenges. Boss Toto Wolff is already cautiously optimistic that they've made a course correction this year. And Hamilton himself would dearly love to sign off his decade-long Mercedes stint by clinching that record 8th world title before he leaves for Ferrari. Aston Martin are perhaps the most ambitious team in the pit lane, with owner Lawrence Stroll investing millions in recruitment and infrastructure in a bid to join the front runners. Last year, they came tearing out of the blocks with Fernando Alonso scoring 6 podiums in the first 8 races, but they saw a significant drop-off in the second half of the year. With McLaren jumping up the ranks, Aston Martin will be keen to keep in step. It would probably be too much to expect Williams to be challenging for podiums in 2024, but the storied British team were undoubtedly on the up last year. Team boss James Vowles insists he's geared towards reshaping the team to continue to finish higher than their honourable P7 finish in 2023. They all want to win. They all yearn for glory. They all dream of being the fastest. But there can only be one winner. The wait is over. It's time for Lights Out.